Hi there, welcome to Andaaz. Andaaz is an inspirational show brought to you from the United States. And every week we talk to great minds from around the country. Today's episode is all about entrepreneurs. What makes an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurs are actually people, I feel, that have the passion to change the world and make a big impact. Many people believe that entrepreneurs are risk takers. I personally believe that entrepreneurs just want to create change and disrupt what's already there. Without these fabulous people, we would not have new inventions, new ideas, and progress forward in life. Draper University was founded by Tim Draper. Young adults from all over the world come together to make their entrepreneurial dreams come true. Let's go check it out.
We have countries compete for us. Competition keeps us on our toes. Yeah, it's a little bit of an experiment. We don't know whether this will turn out.
Hi, Tim. Well, it's great to be here at Draper University.
Great, thanks for coming.
Yeah, and I love how we're sitting in bean bags, and I hear that that's your whole philosophy on teaching with your students, that they should be comfortable and they'll feel more engaged.
I'm challenging a lot of the things that schools were built on.
You've taken on an approach of something called future studies. So tell us a little bit about that.
If you're an entrepreneur, if you really want to change something, you've got to project. You've got to be projecting 5 or 10 years out and what's going to happen in that period of time. My hope is that these students will come up with what happens next, and then they'll guess what happens after that, and that's when they have a business.
So we're living in our most innovative time, I feel. What are you seeing with the youngsters these days?
Well, I'll tell you, with this, with each of my sets of students, my goal is to get them to be thinking out there, hey, I'm going to try something. Okay, when you try something new, the establishment will always challenge you, and that will be very difficult.
Yep.
And I want them to go through a very difficult time here also. Sometimes we have survival training, both urban and rural. Urban survival training is you've got 4 hours, go get a job offer on paper and get back here.
So give us a story around that.
Some people got jobs cleaning up bar and some bar bathroom, and other guys got jobs at Twitter and Facebook. Last session, 39 out of the 40 people got job offers. One guy.
Oh, that poor one.
Yeah, his English wasn't so good, but we gave his team a point because failure is a good thing.
That student got an extra point for failing. So let's give our viewers some lessons on that.
When they failed, they learned. I will fail and fail again until I succeed. I will try things and push and see what I can do, and maybe down the road, this whole thing will come together. Then they're ready to be what we call a hero or a great entrepreneur, where they say, okay, I am going to challenge the status quo. I'm going to challenge the incumbents. I'm going to challenge the big industry people who have big monopolies, or we're going to challenge whoever, and they're prepared. When you pursue something extraordinary, all sorts of other things happen.
That's so true.
And many, many great breakthroughs come from mistakes. But they're mistakes from people who are out doing things and trying things.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed about you, today's the first time I saw you actually speaking to your students, and you're very passionate about what you do here.
Be aware of the people who will try to break the rules. Okay, that's one point of view, yeah.
Things change.
Things change. It's all about change, right? And not only things change, things can change and it can be interesting. And the future can be more fun. And it can be a little chaotic at first, and then you settle into it and you say, hey, this is a real game. It kind of works. And it's maybe better than the other kickball game. The other thing we do is we force them to do things in a very short period of time. The only long-term assignment we have is presentation, 2-minute presentation to the venture capital panel at the very end, which is like a demo day. But all the rest of it is you and your team, you've got an hour and a half, figure out energy policy for Nome, Alaska, and present to the class.
Oh, I love it.
I have great passion for entrepreneurs and what they can do for society and what they have done for society. So I'm going to just pursue that. And this is a part of that pursuit. The great thing about this, though, is that I can teach this class while I run my venture firm, and the venture firm benefits from the students, and the students benefit from the venture.
Oh yeah, it's a
One of their
dream
favorite
for them.
days is Thursday afternoon when I bring in 3 entrepreneurs and they pitch me and I grill them.
Oh, they
So I
love
grill
it.
them in front of the students, and then the students can ask a few questions, and then I have a focus group to see whether I really should be investing in this guy or not.
Words of wisdom for our aspiring entrepreneurs out there.
Be bold. Don't let anybody slow you down. Figure out how to make money or raise money very quickly, because the only great businesses of the world are the ones who have figured a really good business model out. Before you make money, raise as much as you can, but don't spend it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I definitely was relaxed and took in every word you said to me
Yeah,
today.
it helps, doesn't it? I listen to you very well, too.
Yeah. Well, I hope you've inspired our viewers to check out Draper University and become entrepreneurs.
Terrific.
Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth.
Thank you so much, Tim. It was so much fun sitting on those beanbags with you. I really love how you're taking a fresh approach to education and creating our leaders of tomorrow. Next, we hear from one of Time Magazine's top 40 thought leaders, Vivek Wadhwa, for his tip of the week. Let's go take a look.
Don't believe the stories you read about entrepreneurs. No one achieved success the way they said they did. You learn a lot, you grow a lot, you become a better human being. You have a chance to help others, to help them achieve their potential. And if you do everything right, and after you've failed a number of times, you achieve success. But what you remember by the time you're done isn't the money that you made. What you remember is a journey about how you were able to help people, how you were able to inspire other people, help them lift themselves up and do good for the world. It's never easy. But I tell you, there's nothing more rewarding than entrepreneurship.
Andaaz, brought to you by Intellius. Live in the know. Visit www.intellius.com. Usha Ji, your spiritual advisor. Call now or visit ushaji.org. Trivium Corporate Solutions, for the life of your business. triviumcs.com.
Thank you, Vivek. Every week, your tips are just so inspirational. Well, it's time again for our favorite entrepreneur. He's a reoccurring guest here on Andaaz because we just love his energy, passion, and zest for life. He's always ready to conquer the world. Let's hear from Naveen Jain.
Never ever be afraid to be profitable, to make money. As an entrepreneur, your job is to do good in the world, and by doing good, do really, really well for yourself.
Hi Naveen, nice seeing you today at Tim Draper University.
Well, good to see you.
What are some of the most innovative things that are happening that are going to be impacting all of our day-to-day lives?
I can tell you that every part of our life is going to be impacted by technology, whether we like it or not. Now they are able to modify even the simple thing like an inkjet printer. Instead of dropping the ink like red, blue ink, it's dropping ACGT. And they're able to now 3D print the organs. You'll be able to grow your own organs in your own home using a 3D printing. Now the things are actually starting to move forward, that now you can get a new heart or a new liver. So if you're ever worried about drinking, go ahead and drink to your as much as you want. You can always have a new liver. To me, it is only a matter of time where we are able to understand our own human body. And once we understand the human biology, you're able to essentially change and re-engineer it just like we re-engineer the computers.
So this is all innovation that's within reach, is what you're saying?
It is happening today, and it's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. We are living in a decade that is going to be the most innovative decade in centuries.
What advice would you give other parents in raising their children to really take risks?
So I think the number one thing as a parent you have to do is to expose the children to as many different things as possible. Because once you expose them, it creates a foundation for a lifelong learning and lifelong intellectual curiosity. There's only one type of person in the world who goes out and does something, who goes out and executes, the person who goes out and solves the problem. These problem solvers are the real entrepreneurs, right? So the real entrepreneurs are people, it doesn't matter whether you start a company or not, whether you work inside the company or not, as long as you're going out, solving a problem, you are an entrepreneur. And I think doing good and doing well are not mutually exclusive. So while they are making a tremendous impact on a society in a positive way, doesn't mean they can't at the same time be a great entrepreneur. But in terms of the career, to me, there is nothing better than being an entrepreneur. And being an entrepreneur means is going and looking around in the community, whether you live in a village or you live in a city. What are the problems that people are facing, and how can you come up with a solution that actually would help them, right? So in some sense, once you can identify the pain point, you can always sell someone an aspirin. When an entrepreneur dreams, he dreams big. An entrepreneur is so audacious that when someone asks him, what are you doing? And they come up and say, sir, I'm thinking of mining the moon so I can bring the precious resources so humanity can be better on Earth. And you know what they're told? You are crazy. And tell you what, until you have been called crazy, you're not thinking big enough. Focus on solving big problems and never be afraid to fail. As an individual or an entrepreneur, you never fail. The only time you fail in life is the day you give up. And if you don't give up, you never fail. Your ideas may not work, or your initial idea may not work, but every idea that does not work is a stepping stone to a much bigger success. So just take as many steps as you need, but at the end of the day, you're going to be a very successful person.
So Naveen, one other thing that you said that I really loved is that people do business with people, and then you followed that with people do business with people that they like and trust. So how do we cultivate these qualities?
Well, in some sense, it's really, really simple, because it's a human nature to be liked, right? Every one of us want other people to like us and trust us. So it's right in you. What happens is when you start to become an entrepreneur or a business person, you're always trying to sell the product or a service. And when you do that, you're always going to be in a situation where people are going to compare your product features with someone else's. But once you develop a relationship, a personal relationship with the other person, it's no longer the two companies doing business together, it's the two people doing business together. And once they start to think that you are a trustworthy person, everything you say to them, they can take it at face value.
I love it. Thank you, Naveen, so much for all of your insight. I appreciate you, and I love the fact that you're so relatable and you bring so much information to people, and you really inspire people to dream and to imagine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I have no doubt in my mind that sooner or later we will be able to live for a very, very long time. And I can tell you that it's going to be forever, but it's going to be longer than you have ever imagined.
Thank you, Naveen. You are always just full of life and full of advice. And you know, Justine, I really like you in your glasses. You should wear them more often. In life, taking that step forward to make our dreams come true can be kind of scary. A part of us says, go for it. The other part of us says, no, stop, stay where you're at and take the conservative route. Well, that's when we consult our spiritual advisor. Next, we talk to Usha Ji for our tip of the week.
Hi, I'm Usha, your spiritual advisor. Many people come and ask me about success in business. They wish to start a business, but they're not sure whether it will be good for them, whether it will make them financially secure or make them successful. There are many factors that are involved in a successful business, not just the idea of it or the hard work, but there are location energies, the address, the time in your life that you begin it. And there are energies involved which will be very lucky for you at those certain times. For all these insights, call me. I'm here to help you.
Andaaz, brought to you by Intellius. Live in the know. Visit www.intellius.com. Usha Ji, your spiritual advisor. Call now or visit ushaji.org. Trivium Corporate Solutions, for the life of your business. triviumcs.com.
Thank you, Usha Ji. I just love your words of wisdom and how you're willing to help people make their dreams come true. So what does it take to be an entrepreneur here in Silicon Valley? So entrepreneurs flock from all over the world to come here to make their dreams come true. And once they get here, it's not always a rosy picture. There are some bumps in the road and struggles, and being on this journey is more about the journey than the final result. However, with big dreams in hand, we follow a young entrepreneur through the process at Trivium Corporate Solutions. Let's go take a look.
Hi, I'm here with my friend Brett. We're in the heart of Silicon Valley where entrepreneurs' dreams come true. But be mindful that before any entrepreneur's dreams can come true, there are often a lot of hurdles that come along the way. Luckily, there are companies out there whose mission is to help these entrepreneurs reach their goals. One such company is Trivium Corporate Solutions. And I wanted to learn a little bit more about your company and what stage you're at right now.
So I have a media technology company. I've been doing pretty well on my own, but I am tired of learning from mistakes and just want someone to do it right.
Ah, so you want more of the excitement in your life as opposed to some of the cumbersome tasks.
Yeah, exactly. I want to be designing, not doing accounting.
Okay, well, you know, I have a good feeling about this. Let's go head on in.
All right.
Sharad, Brett Sharad.
Hey, nice to meet you,
Yeah,
Brett.
nice to meet you too.
Brett Sharad's actually an expert in HR, so he's the go-to guy.
Brett, tell me a little bit about your company.
Well, it's a media tech company. I've been doing it for a couple of years, made a lot of mistakes, learned from my mistakes, and I'm tired of making mistakes.
Great, so first step is acknowledging that.
What are some common mistakes that entrepreneurs make from the onset when it comes to building out their team?
One of the biggest issues I see with founders of companies is they hire their friends or family to do things, or they do things on their own that they're not experts at. So a lot of times, a founder will take their energy and try to do HR work or accounting work. That can get a little sketchy just because you want to have things in place on paper. Do you have plans for attracting top talent, having the right people? You don't want to have all people like you. You want to complement your team. So do you have a plan for that going forward?
Well, first of all, there's no one like me, so just kidding.
In the space you're in the tech space, it's really hard to recruit top talent, and that's something we're gonna have to plan out, and that's something I'd like to help you with, is going forward, how you're gonna bring on the right people on your team. You wanna develop a strategy for hiring. How much equity do you wanna give out? How much salary do you wanna give out? Well, on that note, I should introduce you to my colleague, Gary. Gary's been a CFO for many companies, startup to public, and he's got decades of experience.
How much money do you think you need to raise?
About 5 million.
Okay.
When do you know it's the right time to seek capital from maybe a venture capitalist or an angel investor as opposed to focusing on revenue?
The longer you can wait, the better, because in theory, hopefully, you're making progress in your company. So, but the tension point that people feel as entrepreneurs is they don't have enough money. So yeah, they know it's better to wait if they could, but you gotta eat, right? So the timing really is based on the facts and circumstances, but almost always people have to raise money sooner than they want to. You asked a few minutes ago about common mistakes, and it may be the most important thing for you to hear from me, but is a failure on the part of the entrepreneur to communicate that spark of confidence and enthusiasm that you really have a good idea, you really have a good product, you really know about this marketplace. Because the VCs they're very broad, but they're not necessarily going to be deep in your field. So they're going to be looking for a way to connect gut to gut to make sure that you really know.
From getting funding to making sure that you have the passion and energy, that was beautiful advice. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right, good luck. Stay in touch.
Yeah, thanks.
So Brett, do you feel like you're learning a lot?
Yeah, they're really helpful.
Hey guys, how'd it go?
It went really well.
Awesome. So I got one more person I want you guys to meet. She's the head of our finance accounting group, and I think she'd be a big help to you.
How may I help you?
To be honest, my mom was a math teacher, so she's been doing my accounting. Is that good business?
That's always good because that keeps your expenses in control.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Being a mom, I know that.
Yeah.
Typically, when entrepreneurs come to me for the first time, they're like, oh, I'm not even making money. Why do I need to keep finances? But these expenses are what are going to convert to your equity maybe later on. Basically, you need to get paid for what you have spent. You need that money back. All that has to be recorded as expenses for the company. Those are not your expenses.
Thanks, Vinitha. That was very helpful information. I feel.
Yeah, I'll tell my mom she's been fired.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be happy.
So, Brett, we just spent a good amount of time with the Trivium team. What would you say is your number one takeaway from your meeting here with everyone?
I really liked when I met with Gary. What resonated with me is bring your passion, your intensity when you're selling your product, because I really believe in it. And I think that the venture capitalists aren't going to really care as much if my books are in order and stuff as if they see that, look, this is going to work, I believe it's going to work, and the other stuff will sort itself out, especially if I have someone else helping me, which I'm going to need.
Well, Brett, I wish you all the best in your entrepreneurial journey, and I'm sure you got some great advice to take home with you today. And next, we actually welcome our beautiful host, Justine, as she talks to us about our weekly social media competition.
Hi guys, be sure to engage with us on our social media contest. Check me out on Facebook in a picture of me with my glasses, and you could win a one-on-one with Naveen Jain. All you have to do is tell me your most embarrassing story and I'll pick my favorite. Also, be sure to engage with us on Twitter for Twitterview Tuesdays, where you can interview one of our past guests. Being an entrepreneur, you never know when you might have to jet set, and who knows who you can meet at the airport. An important business contact? Maybe. So we give you some quick and easy tips for hair when you're on the run. Let's go take a look. So Glenn, as you know, I love to keep my hair long, but I really want to keep it healthy as well. How often should I be cutting my hair?
Well, for long hair, I recommend usually 3 to 4 times per year max. Usually 3 is the best for long hair. And the key is, don't find a stylist that's going to give you the best price. Find a stylist that's going to give you the best haircut. That might mean spending a little more money, but in the end, it's worth it. It's not in the value of the cut, it's in the value of the way it grows out.
That sounds fabulous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Here in Silicon Valley, there are several options for entrepreneurs. There's accelerator programs, they can go straight to VCs, people can get mentored by companies such as Trivium CS. We head to one of the Valley's most prominent accelerators, TiE Launchpad. Let's go take a look, and I'll see you all next week.
First of all, I'm very excited to have been part of the program at TiE Launchpad.
Every event is its own unique beast. We are sending right now hundreds of thousands of people to Subway, CVS, Burger King to buy those gift cards.
Folks, I think that gives you a good cross-section of the kinds of companies at the TiE ecosystem.
Once we joined the TiE Launchpad, that's when we really saw acceleration.
What inspired you to create TiE Launchpad?
You know, the inspiration for starting this program, which is an accelerator, really came from the fact that at TiE Angels, a lot of companies would come to us and they weren't quite prepared to actually raise money. And so we had some of our TiE charter members go and work with these companies. And what they ended up doing is working with these companies so effectively that the companies then subsequently went and raised money from great firms on Sand Hill Road.
This is a $500 billion industry. TiE Launchpad has been really instrumental in helping fast forward our growth to help us get to the next stage of growth and funding.
They gave us a $50K seed fund. We were able to start paying engineers. We were able to start paying consultants to actually do the user interface, to a point where in just 5 months, we've gone from an idea to actually having a beta quality product and a number of proof of concepts.
So we thought, well, why are we letting these companies get away? We've got all the ingredients inside of TiE. We've got the mentorship, we've got capital, we've got all this great expertise. We should put together a program that more formally does what we've been informally doing for 20 years, and that's how TiE Launchpad got started. So the idea is we let the companies come into the program, we seed them with a little bit of capital, and then they can pick a mentor from one of our TiE charter members and actually develop milestones that make themselves fundable within a few months.
You know, they do help fund, but I think more importantly, they have just a phenomenal, network of proven entrepreneurs that help build businesses, help us build strategic relationships, and help grow our customers and become a better business.
We actually have a couple of customers that came over here to support us.
How you actually help these companies, this influx of new entrepreneurs, is I think something that's very critical, and I think TiE Launchpad can play a very substantial role in identifying and helping the right set of companies become successful.
Yeah, that's wonderful and exciting. Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
And now that I've taken the plunge to be an entrepreneur, I'm really loving it.
Andaaz, brought to you by Intellius. Live in the know. Visit www.intellius.com. Usha Ji, your spiritual advisor. Call now or visit ushaji.org. Trivium Corporate Solutions, for the life of your business, triviumcs.com.